Morning, everybody. Today we are doing calculus and we are going to be sketching a cubic graph. So the steps that one has to put into consideration when sketching a cubic graph. So step one, you basically decide on the shape of the cubic graph, what the graph is going to shape like. So when you're doing that, you look at the value you look at the value of a and see if the value of a is positive or negative. So in this case, we know that our a here is positive. So since our a here is positive, then the shape of the cubic graph is going to be positive. So when a is greater than 0, then the graph is going to be positive. But however, when a is less than 0, then the graph is going to be negative, like that. So when it's positive, it shapes like that. Then when it's negative, the shapes looks like that. So moving further on, step 2, we work out our y-intercept. So when working out our y-intercept, what do? We we say for y-intercept we let x equals 0, and then where there is x we substitute 0, and then we work out our y-intercept, which in this case is negative 20. So therefore our coordinates in there is 0 and negative 20. Then step 3, what we do is we work out the x-intercept. So when we're working out with our x-intercept, we let y equals 0. So yeah, this is the original equation. So there, what we want, we are basically looking at the factors of 20. The factors of 20, it is 1 and 2 and 4 and 5 and 5, 10 and 20. So look at those the factors of 20, and then we pick one where we could substitute here where there's x, and then we would get 0. So we say all this should equal to 0. So therefore we look for the factor. So we obviously know that in this case I already have calculated the factors of 20 here. So in this case the factor of 20 is 2. So we substitute 2 where there's x so that we get 0. And then obviously the factor is 2. And then step 3, we continue with step 3. We are working out other values of x using synthetic division. So using our original equation, we just take the coefficients of a, we take a, we take b, we take c, we take d, the coefficients of x's, and then we put them there as is, and we divide that by 2. So in doing that, we basically say that, okay, the first step is to drop 1 there as is, put 1 there as is, and then we say 1 times 2, you know that it's 2, and then we say negative 9 plus 2, we know that it's negative 7, and then we say negative 7 times 2, and it's negative 14, and then we say 24 minus 14, and then we know that's 10, and then we say 10 times 2, and then we know that's 20, and we say 20 minus 20, that is 0. Therefore that means 2 is a factor, because of the fact that we get 0. If we did not get 0, and then 2 would not be a factor. So therefore 2 is a factor. And then from there, our second equation is created. As you can see, this is our second equation, and we let it equal to 0, and then we factorize that. Look for the factors of 10, which in this case is 5 and 2, and then when we add them we get negative 7, as you can see. Negative 5 times negative 2, that's positive 10. Negative 5 plus negative 2, that's negative 7. So therefore, x is equal to 5 and x is equal to 2. Then those are our x intercepts. The other one being a turning point. Then therefore, we look for a stationary point, the turning point. So when we're looking for a turning point, we basically use the original equation, and then we derive it. So this is, we have derived this one, and then after deriving it, we'll let the derivative equal 0. The derivative should equal to 0. And the derivative should equal to 0. And then from there we divide by, so from there we're going to divide this by 3. Divide here by 3. And then after dividing by 3, this is what we get. Divide this by 3 and then we get 1. Divide 18 by negative 18 by 3, we get negative 6. Divide 24 by 3, we get 8. Then therefore what we do, we factorize, look for the factors of 8, and then when you add them, we get negative 6. So that's 4 and 2, negative 4 and negative 4, negative 4 and negative 2. Then obviously therefore x is equal to 0, x is equal to 4 and x is equal to 2. Then we substitute our x-intercept into the original equation. When we do that, you substitute 4 in our original equation, then therefore what we get there, we get negative 4. And then also do the same thing with the second x-intercept. We substitute it into our original equation, and then we get, what do we get? Obviously we get 2. Then the final step is we sketch the graph. So after sketching the graph should look like this. Okay, bye.